Before we get started arranging, I've got 2 tips I want to talk to you about. The first one is the foam that you're going to use to place your flowers in. When you go to the craft store, foam is all in the same aisle, and it's really easy to pick up the wrong foam. I've done that. You want to get the foam that says wet foam. It looks so similar to this one, but this one is for silk flowers. It will not hold water. I know that for a fact. So, get the one that's the wet foam. You can arrange your flowers in a clear vase, but I chose this white porcelain vase, got it at the craft store for half off for 12 bucks. Now, the reason I chose this one is because it's a low vase, and when you make a flower arrangement, and especially if you're going to make it for a dinner party, you really don't want that arrangement to be too high, because then guests can't see each other. So I invested in this one for 12 bucks because I can reuse it over and over. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my wet foam in there, but I'm going to cut it so that when I put it in here, I'm going to shove it in really tight, and then I'm going to begin to make my flower arrangement. Usually when I'm going to make an arrangement, I will buy my flowers the day before I need to make my arrangement. And the reason is because a lot of times, Molly, she loves to help, your flowers aren't open all the way. So if they soak in water overnight, they'll open up a little more. But what I want you to do is when you first get your flowers, I want you to snip off the ends of the flowers and then put them in the water, and that way they can soak up the water really well overnight and look great the next day when you're getting ready to start your flower arrangement. So there you go. Okay, I've got my foam stuck inside my white vase, and now you're ready. You need to add water before you add your flowers. Your flowers come with this little flower fig packet. Go ahead and add it in the water. I've done it already, and stir it up. And then you're going to pour that in, and it is amazing how this wet foam just soaks up the water. Okay. Now, my rule of thumb when making a flower arrangement is I choose flowers in 3s. And by that I mean I choose a large flower, a medium flower, and a small flower. And many times the small flowers are what I call fillers, which is the eucalyptus, or in this case, I picked some things out of the yard. This is nandina, some hydrangea, and we're going to use those as fillers also. So we're going to start with the largest flower. And the largest flower I chose are the red flowers. They're going to be these red tipped roses, okay? When you get your roses, take all the leaves off. You don't want any leaves touching water, especially if you're doing a clear vase. If you have leaves that are floating in the water, it will turn the water green. So go ahead and trim your rose, and you want to trim it at an angle so it really soaks up the water. I trim all my flowers first, and then I put them in a vase just to keep them fresh. So I'm going to start with my center flower, and that is going to determine the height of the rest of your arrangement. And I really don't want it too high, remember, because I want guests to be able to see around it. I can hear Molly under me chewing the leaves. There we go. How pretty is that? Now you're ready to add the white flowers. Now let me show you something. Sometimes when you get roses, you'll get a bad leaf like that. All you want to do, I usually take scissors and I just kind of cut it. I'll pull it down, okay, and I'll just snip it. And then you don't see it. Now my white ones, my white roses, they're going to be a little lower than the red ones because I want my red flowers to be dominant. I'm going to place them in between each red one. See how pretty that's starting to look already? Now I'm ready for my second size flower. This flower is called Ostromeria, one of my favorite flowers, and I tell you why. They last longer than any other flower, and they're relatively inexpensive. If I'm gonna take one to somebody who's a flower arrangement to someone who's in the hospital or take it to someone's home, many times I will just do a huge arrangement of this flower because it will last forever. Now when you first get one, they have a ton of leaves. I just take my hand, pull it all the way down. Really easy. So this is gonna be my medium-sized flower. And it's gonna start to be a filler in here. Ooh, that's getting so pretty. Now you may be wondering why this is just pretty much red and white. Well, I am making this arrangement for my father's 90th birthday party. And he's a World War II vet. Love you, Dad. I don't know why, but adding the last smaller fillers is just my favorite part. There's several types of eucalyptus. Well, that's a hard word to say. Eucalyptus. I love this one. It's airy and light. I like baby's breath, but I don't always use it in my flower arrangements because I just like to have something a little bit different. So I stick this in more of the edges because I would like the eucalyptus to kind of flow out. And I'm gonna start to create a little bit of a softer feel in my arrangement. So, let me go ahead and do this. Okay, I've got all the eucalyptus in, and not only is this starting to look gorgeous, it smells divine. Okay, now I'm gonna add the little Nandina sprigs that I cut. Oh, they're beautiful. I love them. Look how pretty that's starting to look. I love it. All right, let me finish this up. I added all the Nandina, and I added just a few little small hydrangeas that hadn't really started to bloom yet. And I really think this turned out pretty, so I hope Dad likes it. I'm gonna put a flag in the middle and a little happy birthday sign. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Molly and I say thank you for watching. She's a little upset she can't go to the birthday party, so we'll talk about that later. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and have a wonderful day.